Hey guys, it's Stephen Fennick from Tech Guide and I'm in San Jose for Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference. We've already heard the keynote and I'm going to go through the top 10 announcements made at that keynote. Starting with number 1, iTunes. Well, iTunes is no more. There were strong rumours ahead of the event that iTunes was going to disappear, and in fact it has. Now what we'll see is 3 apps replacing iTunes, so Apple Music, Apple TV, and Apple Podcasts. And don't worry, if you've got any music or any video content that you've purchased, they will be found in their respective apps. So music, video, and podcasts, but in 3 separate apps. Number 2, iPad OS. Apple has decided to give the iPad its very own operating system. It will no longer share iOS with the iPhone. iOS 13 was announced for iPhone, but iPad OS will allow developers to create apps to suit the iPad's larger display and also to take advantage of the multitasking functionality as well, because the iPad is being used less like a phone and more like a laptop. So I think the move to iPad OS is a great start. Number 3 is privacy. This has been something that Apple has felt very strongly about. Everyone is entitled to their privacy. It's an important right, according to Apple, and we'd all agree. What Apple is doing now with their latest updates is providing even more privacy and security. There are many times when we've seen websites and apps that ask us to log in with Facebook or Google. When we do this, we're kind of handing over the keys. We're handing over our email address and all of our information. Now, customers will be able to sign in with just their Apple ID and limit the amount of information that the app or website would wants to access. So what you can do is actually choose to hide your email, and Apple will assign you with a random email that will forward to your main address. But then this random email you can delete at any time, so you won't be worried about continued spam into the future. Number 4 is dark mode. iOS 13 for the iPhone, one of the main features is this new dark mode, which allows users to set the darker backgrounds either by choice, or you can set it to automatically switch to dark mode in the evening. It's meant to be a little bit easier on your eyes, especially when using your iPhone at night and in the dark. Number 5, Apple Watch streaming. Developers will now be able to access the streaming API when creating apps for Apple Watch. This will come in handy as well if you want to stream content to the Apple Watch without the need to have your iPhone with you. So that means you'll be able to stream your music, your podcasts, without having your iPhone directly to Apple Watch. Number 6, Sidecar. This is a feature that's going to be introduced with Mac OS Catalina as well as in iPad OS. So what that's going to allow is for Mac users to be able to use their iPad as a second screen. So you can either extend your desktop on the Mac or mirror what is already on your Mac to either show something, what you're looking at, to another person, or from the other way, you can use Apple Pencil to mark up documents on your Mac. Number 7, Maps. Apple has improved the Maps app with a lot of their land and aerial data that they've collected. So the result is a lot more detailed maps, but also a great new 3D experience, almost a Google Street-like experience that's been taken to the next level, and it's like watching a movie when you're moving through the app. Number 8, the file folder on the iPad. Now with iPad OS, the file structure has completely changed and allows you to access your documents and organize them in an even easier way. But my favorite new feature is the ability to connect an external hard drive or even a USB drive to the iPad and access that content on the device. Number 9, Memojis. That was a favorite feature for a lot of users when it was introduced last year, and it gave people the ability to create a cartoon version of themselves. Well, now Memojis have improved even more, and you can really add even more detail. You'll be able to do things like adjust your makeup, add piercings, have different hairstyles, and even put on sunglasses and hats. It's going to be a lot of fun for users. Number 10, the Mac Pro. The only piece of hardware that was announced at the show was Apple's new supercomputer, the Mac Pro. This is meant for creative professionals who are working at the cutting edge, moving around a lot of data and needing a lot of processing power. People like video editors, special effects artists, and even photographers who really need that extra grunt for their computer.